All right, man. Well, I appreciate y'all coming, hanging out. Let's doing this again at the Homeboy Hangout. Probably been about a month since we got together.
Right.
Got a lot to talk about tonight. But first of all, just happy to be here with the fellas.
Yes.
Yes.
Good to see you, brothers.
Yeah, let's start off by talking about what we just heard. The lady say that the Underground Railroad, they heard it went through Rich Square.
Yes. She just mentioned that studies to believe that the Underground Railroad ran right through Rich Square, North Carolina, right in Northampton County.
Okay.
So in discussing, celebrating Juneteenth, and now they, doing Liberation Day for Northampton County, that's really interesting to know.
Yes, it is.
It is. It's kind of shocking because you read stuff like that, and you don't ever think about this stuff happened right where, we live. We were from. You read about the Underground Railroad, but you feel like it's way off somewhere else. You see the movies, and you like, man, that's way off somewhere else.
Right.
But then to actually hear that it went through your hometown and hear actual farm names that you heard when you was growing up. You know what I'm saying?
I don't remember where it is. I don't know if I'll ever take you to a plantation museum somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
I can't remember where it was, but it was somewhere she took us to. I've been there like two or three times, and we visit the houses. There was the plantation house we went through. They showed us where the slave quarters was at. And I can't remember, it wasn't that far from where we lived, where we grew up at.
Right.
And I can't remember exactly where it was, but that's the things we miss when our elders go away, all the things we used to do.
Yeah, right.
Because as a kid, we don't think about, I need to write this down, or we won't in the generation of, let me take a picture and let's remember it and post it here and post it there. Right. So a lot of the things we did, it's only by memory. Mm-hmm. And so, you only being 9 years old or 8 years old, trying to remember things from that far back now as an adult, and all that stuff is hitting you now. But yeah, that's
and you care more now.
Yeah.
However, your story to your kid gonna be watered down because you don't really remember what was taught, what was told. Right. And I imagine Tyrone, you probably seen more than we seen because. You're a tad bit, not by the great beard, that don't mean nothing, but you're a tad bit older than us.
Yeah. Good to have this dude up here, though, right?
I'm happy you're here, man, because, me and Tyrone, I grew up right down the street from Tyrone.
Right.
That's why he always called me baby boy. Y'all ain't really realized it because I was the baby boy when we were down there at the railroad tracks. You know what I'm saying? But you probably heard or seen some stuff more so than what we have.
Well, not exactly, but stuff to me is still fresh and stuff. I'm still learning and stuff.
Right.
But I never heard of that until this day.
Until today.
It's a lot, man.
Right.
You don't know a lot. It's a lot.
And that shows you gotta do your own research.
Yeah.
I mean, you got to.
There's so much internet stuff and all this other stuff. You can do your own research. Just take time to do it.
Yeah.
And our parents probably tried to hide us from a lot of the stuff.
Sure.
But depending on the times, our parents maybe didn't know. Some of our parents
they may not have known too.
They didn't keep good records on us either.
Right.
So for us to really go back and do the family history, that what raised the question with me the other day was somebody was doing the DNA testing of their family and where they came from, and they tracked it all the way back to the exact plantation in New Orleans that their family had came from.
Man. That's tight. That's deep.
So that's but for most of us, all our records was inside this old Bible that stayed at grandma's house or great grandma's house.
By the time you put a birth certificate out, it's faded. You don't even know what it's supposed to say no more.
All those records are in that Bible, but nobody knows where that Bible is anymore.
Right.
Or did somebody grab it when grandma passed and she's holding on to it? Where are all these records? We don't have any of these records because they didn't want us to be able to trace back.
Yeah.
That's true. And then another thing, as far as with our family members, like they didn't want to relive that. Right. Yeah. So what they do, they try to block it out of their memory, that was my past.
Right.
However, your past could possibly help us moving forward.
Yeah.
Because if we don't understand where we come from, how are we going to understand where we're going?
Yeah.
You know, and you know how it is with people. You be like, oh, that was your granddaddy? Or that's your daddy? Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's crazy.
When you lose your past, you lose your future.
There you go.
You know what I'm saying? So let's say we talk about Black Wall Street, black businesses, black owned towns.
Right.
The more that gets watered down, the more we start to mix race it.
Right.
The more you start to mix race it, you go to a whole nother race.
Yeah.
So your past, not knowing it, takes away your future if you don't know that. You know, and I'm gonna jump into your man Donald Trump. He's trying to preserve the past as best he can
Yes.
to preserve the future for the people that looks like him.
Yes,
You know, but I'm also gonna say, I didn't even want to get into no politics, but this is probably the first election where I feel like I ain't need me to vote. I ain't got nobody for one vote for one vote
And I
for
was
who I
thinking
got.
about the
Gotta
same
vote,
thing.
baby. You gotta vote.
And I know that. I know that.
I know our options are
Limited.
limited,
God.
but you have to still vote because there's people in our past who died for
Died for that.
or got beaten or got arrested or for us to be able to do that.
Right.
That's the most important part. Like, yes, our politics right now are left. They're crazy as I don't know what.
Yes,
but
man. Excuse me.
there are people who, and that was so when we think about our family and Jim Crow and all of that, you know, we have people in our family that lived through that.
Right.
Yes, we
And
did.
it'd be good to hear some of them stories,
They
man.
don't, that's like you said again, they don't want to talk about those
Right.
stories.
Man, it'd be good to hear them
You
stories.
know, to talk about being in a sundown town and you're
Right.
black, you got to be out of a certain area by a certain time frame. I think Woodland was one of those places. You know what I mean? Like, cause you think about it, Woodland, they had a lot of white people living in Woodland. Woodland
Right.
was an up and coming town. It was the better town than Rich Square because Rich Square was predominantly black. But think about some of the businesses that we had there, like it being a town that used to be a flourishing town for the area. It's dying down now because all the stuff that used to be there ain't there no more.
Yeah.
But think that we had a whole movie theater in Rich Square.
Man, we had a movie theater, bowling
Yeah,
alley,
break down
all
Bush
that
Street.
stuff.
Yeah,
From what I hear,
remember that.
We had
First name,
it was either J.C. Penney's,
Skating rink?
apartment store in Rich Square.
Right.
We had
What?
there was a major department store in Rich Square.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we had some
Like
stuff
the town.
in Rich Square.
the town of Rich Square was really a
It was
town.
booming. It was a real black.
From what
sort
I
of
hear.
town
I
on Wall
often
Street.
wonder where the name came from.
Rich Square.
Rich Square. I heard because
So-
of the flat land.
Right, so-
Rich in soil.
The history, little bit of history research I did is because the soil was really rich and it was made in a square. So they deemed the town to call it Rich Square.
So where did Woodland come from?
I guess because they had a lot of
Bunch of
wood.
woods.
land. But my concern was with Rich Square
Right,
at the time because that's
Time in
where I was
at
living.
elementary school, that's what they was telling us about Rich Square. Like I can't remember which teacher it was. We all went through the same class. You and I,
Yeah,
so
right.
I couldn't tell you if it was Miss Manley or was it
Maybe with Miss Jacobs.
Miss Jacobs. No, we ain't. I
I ain't learned nothing in Miss Jacobs class.
We know Tim.
I ain't learned nothing in
You know.
Miss Jacobs class.
You know.
dog.
Watching Miss
Miss
Jacobs.
Parker.
Just looking at Miss Jacobs.
Yeah, we know.
Beautiful lady.
Yeah, she was beautiful, man.
or Miss Peoples.
Oh yeah, I
Peel
remember.
and Miss Peel.
Miss Peel.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
yeah. So I don't know. It's
Yeah.
rich in history, but a lot of times we forget about that.
And sometimes when I go back to Rich Square, I be like, I look at the buildings and how run down they are. Sometimes I'm like, man, you know, it just hurt a little bit.
So what can we do then? Like, what can we do collectively? And when I say, I'm not just talking about us five here. I'm talking about collectively, man. Like everyone from Rich Square, we rally up together. Like, what can be done?
Well, you got your feet on the ground there, so we really should be asking you. But I deal with masses of people a
Right.
lot, so I'd rather stay in the background and assist. Because the last thing I would want to hear people say is, he's coming here trying to take over and do things this way, do it that way. So just let me help by helping, you know, in a different scenario.
But you know-
But see, that's the thing that has to change. So, yeah, your first question was, what could we do to change Rich Square or do something better.
You got to change that mentality.
The mentality of the people thinking that we went away, we've done some stuff, now we're coming back to Rich Square. The mentality.
And you think you're all that?
And you think you're all that.
They already think that though.
Versus we're coming back to give back to the community that helped raise us be who we are.
Right.
So that would be the mentality first that you would have to try to say, hey, I'm not here to try to say I'm better than anybody. I'm here to give back to Rich Square so Rich Square could be what it used to be to me.
So let's start with Assistant Miss Gwen Futrell. July 13th.
Liberation Day, yeah.
Liberation. No.
It's 13th.
It's the 13th.
Okay.
But the 10th was the day they was told that we were free.
Okay.
So collectively, everybody, let's get together and support our town. If you're from Rich Square, you know, July 13th is a Saturday. They have a parade that starts at 10, and then the actual program. So it's going to go from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. And I think the parade's going to start at Milecraft, the old Milecraft, and it's going to end at Rich Square Creasy. So let's do that. That's the start.
Yeah.
Right.
Let's do that. Let's support. And she's also asking for donations of any sort. No numbers too big, too small. I don't have the actual link where donations can be sent to, but if you in town, go out there, give it to someone. I'm pretty sure somebody will be set up to do something. So collectively, let's start there.
Or they can reach out to, what was the name of the group? Concerned Citizens.
Concerned Citizens of Northampton County. Yes.
Okay.
Well,
And Concerned Citizens of Rich Square, I believe. But either one. You know.
Yeah.
but it take like us getting together and getting some investors and stuff and going in there just fixing stuff up, because the stuff down there, they done broke it down so much. It's not like it's going to be a lot of money to actually get a property and then fix it up. Just got to have the income and the resources together. And like some of the old houses down there, you can fix them up, bed and breakfast or little apartments or whatever like that. You know.
What's my man name that just bought the Milecraft?
I don't
about to
know.
ask you about it.
Yeah, he bought the
Yeah.
Milecraft. I can't think of his name, but he's from Rich Square.
He went to Maryland.
And he moved away, came back, and he actually, acquired that property. So that's a good thing. We had to get his name. I know he went to school with Gary. I can't think of his name, but he bought Milecraft. A black man.
I love to own a business in Rich Square, but I love to own a business anywhere really. But being as our hometown, I wouldn't be so concerned with it being a profitable business, but you want all your businesses to be profitable.
Yeah.
However, I don't want to prey on the people to the point where, they can't really afford, what I'm bringing. I would love to have something that, I feel like you gotta change the kids too. You gotta appeal to the children, because the grown-ups, you appeal to them, but they've already kind of made their decision on how they want their life to be, what they want their life to be.
Right.
And I just think back to like another way. I've gone a couple different times and participated in stuff like they used to have the Unity in the Community
Right.
car and bike show.
Yeah.
Right.
And each time that I've gone, the kids in the neighborhood try to fight and shoot.
Yeah, that's everyone now though. It's just like they just don't-
everywhere.
So that's my point. If you can get there and get the kids early enough to change that mentality, because we didn't have that mentality.
No.
And the older people in the community wouldn't let us have those mentalities.
Exactly.
Even if they were somebody that might have did some things on the other side of the law, they try to tell you not to do those things to become better.
That's right.
But now it seems like we engulfing, the kids are engulfing, and not just Rich Square, other
Yeah,
places. 'Cause I see it in High Point, Greensboro. They're engulfing in things that are just on the other side of the law, and they happy living in that.
And then
Definitely right here in Raleigh too.
and then they getting younger and younger.
Right.
So what is that? What's causing that trend? Not seeing enough positive men doing something that, because right now I guess the stereotypes of what you see, all our rappers, everybody's rapping about how they was hustling or they was a dope dealer or how they do this, that, and the third, or it ain't nothing to lay down and go to jail for 5 years and come out. That's school now.
Which is the reason why I want us to do this, because we may not be millionaires or billionaires, may not even be thousandaires or hundredaires, but we are positive people that have done things that we probably never imagined that we would do.
Exactly.
From Rich Square, from me chopping in grandma's garden,
right.
getting them thorns in my finger, pulling them weeds out, out the garden, to the things that I do now. You know, like you, Kevin, you, Terrell, you, Kurt, you, TJ.
Yeah.
You know, did you?
So, but in our values of what we was raised and instilled in us, when we try to go back to teach the younger ones now, they don't accept that.
I think they just need a boost or a change in their life. They got to have it for themselves.
Right?
If not, you're gonna
that's
go
what
down.
they're saying. They're saying, okay, old man, because they see your gray hair.
Yeah.
Hey, old man, you,
Oh, yeah.
OG, you don't know what you're talking about, OG. This
Nah, I
is different,
seen
OG.
that.
You don't notice that. I'm 45 years old.
I seen what you doing.
And you 18 or 20. I got 20 years on you, bro, of life that I've seen that you haven't seen yet. And
Good
you
and
telling
bad.
me, good and bad.
Yeah.
But you telling me I don't know nothing.
Right.
And,
Right.
and if you did go through this, it don't mean it's gonna happen to me. It don't mean it's gonna happen to me.
Yeah. Life is telling you that it's coming
Okay.
for you, brother.
It's like, okay. So that's what you do. You step back, like, you know what? I told a young man this recently. I said, hey, you're 20 years old, and the decisions that you make today may not affect you today. But 10 years from now,
They will affect
they
you,
will
dog.
hit you so hard. And I
Yeah.
want you to remember this conversation.
Right.
Because you will get hit. For the next, after the 10 years, that you will get hit and be like, man, I wish I had this, that, and the third. Or you're going to say the exact same thing, and all of us have said, I wish somebody would have told me this when I was 18.
There you go.
But somebody did.
Right.
Somebody told you. You just didn't listen to
Yeah.
You just didn't listen.
A guy was telling me in the shop, right? We was having a conversation about life like we are now. And let's set the record straight. We're here to uplift where we come from.
Correct.
Yeah.
We love where we come from. It's who where we come from made us who we are today.
Yeah, you talk about them mosquitoes for yourself. I don't love them
Right.
mosquitoes.
But that
I gotta go
the
down there in a
mosquito
couple
shaped you to get out of rich quick.
They just ran me out.
Oh, look, are them bears in the field across the
Yeah, them bears, man.
So 252 all day long. We love you.
Yeah.
Brother told me, he said, listen, when you born, you look like your parents. When you die, you look like how you live your life.
Yeah, because I believe that because there's some young people out here that look way
That's
older.
strong, man.
Yeah.
Words deleted.
When you're born, you look like your mama, your daddy, your uncle, whatever.
Yeah,
But when
Yeah.
you lay in that casket, you look like what you've been through.
Yeah.
'Cause I swear,
Unless you got a mighty fine mortician that got that, he got that peanut butter on your face that make you look. You know what I'm saying?
He put that thing on you.
Yeah, man. He got you looking like somebody enough.
But I'm happy, man. I'm happy to be a product of Northampton County.
So you trying to say that y'all listen way more than the kids listen now?
Brother, we ain't had no choice. We ain't want
had no choice,
We ain't
but
want
Y'all stole the car. Y'all steal the car.
Yes, but
I didn't say we wasn't.
but nobody got
angels.
hurt.
ain't nobody getting
Nobody
hurt.
get hurt.
Nobody got in an accident.
Look, we didn't go out looking to cause problems.
That's right.
We didn't go out to go rob nobody at 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning.
Right.
We didn't go out to break in anybody's house or I don't like such and such and such. Let's
So
go
I'm gonna
kill
shoot him up.
I'm gonna
Right.
shoot his house up, or I'm gonna shoot
Right.
his family's house up.
You know what time we
didn't
was
do any
on.
of that.
Yeah.
If we had a problem with a person, what did we do in our generation?
Fought it.
We fought on the
fought
street.
it.
We got through the fight. The fight was over with. If I lost,
Everything
I might
was
come
over.
back. If he lost, he might come back. But that was it.
That was
dude.
it.
For the long term, but for the, you know, and you, when you from Red Square, most of the time, if you fought somebody from Red Square, y'all was cool the next week or two.
Right, because you know why you was cool? Because then when you went to school, you start fighting Seaboard.
You fight somebody from somewhere else.
Because the Rich Square would all get together. Now you're going to go fight Seaboard or
Right,
Conway.
right.
And then if somebody came
Right.
from a whole nother school, the whole school
Gonna fight
gonna
that person.
that person from the other school.
And on nobody to this day, nobody, none of them towns was fighting. Nobody
Exactly.
fighting, nobody fight.
And
Why
that's-
we fighting
And as
for?
grown men today, we all good.
Everybody hang out and
Seaboard,
get
Conway,
together.
Jackson,
Right.
Yeah.
everybody's like, it's all love. You know why? Because we're men.
Fighting over girls.
I mean,
I
but
ain't
I'm
never
saying,
fight over no
I ain't never
I mean, but
understood that
people
either.
did. People fought over girls, but most of the time,
I never understood
You fought
that
over
either
a chick?
because
Nah, I ain't
You
know
fought
how to
over a girl?
nah.
Yes,
But you know, most of the time, like,
I know you
who's the girl that you couldn't do without in high school?
Nigga, I know you ain't about to ask me that.
But think about it in your head. Oh, y'all, think about it in your head. I know you can't say it right now.
She married.
You can't say it. But most of the time, that girl you couldn't do without back then that you ready to fight and push people over and do this and jump out your mama window and go see, you ain't got no damn idea what she at right now.
They ain't got nothing to do with
But how can we convey that to the kids? I got a homie that adopted. He's a respite parent, so he adopts kids, right? My man climbed out to the second floor window, called the Uber. It's so easy for him now. Called the Uber. The Uber took him 35 miles.
Wow.
To go into his little girl's house. And she said, come on now after midnight because my daddy going to work. 35 miles with an Uber. He only laid up like he Pops. He run the house because he can't do without her. Then Pop walked back in the house.
Oh man.
You see what I'm saying? But how can you get kids to understand, like, y'all ain't the first ones to go through this.
See,
you ain't gonna be the last one. We trying to educate you on the right way to do it.
And he had to go.
He was gone, boy. She put it on. She must have put it on him.
They say the nose was wide open.
Yo,
he had to go.
He was a Latino fella. I couldn't understand none of his English, but that video I seen when he was over there, English was fine.
Yeah.
He was fine.
Yeah.
But I think most of the mentality of the kids today, they think they're invincible. Like, now ain't gonna happen to me.
No, we thought he was invincible too.
I didn't think I
know I did.
He was invincible in the 20s.
I know I did.
I did.
We thought it wasn't gonna happen to us.
Yeah, well, nothing gonna happen to us since that third until friends started dropping. Stuff started happening. You like, wait a minute. Going to the club now, and then somebody don't come back from the club. Or
right.
Going down the bike week, and somebody don't come back. Or close family members just not waking up the next day. You like,
right.
Stuff can happen to me.
Yes, sir.
I'm being very lucky and blessed that it hasn't, but it can happen.
It can't happen.
Kurt was scared though.
And more stuff happened to
Now
him.
beat him.
Oh yeah.
Who?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
He would get the whoop.
Yeah.
Nah. My dad would, but she wouldn't.
Kurt, you had the coolest parents, man.
Yeah,
Kurt,
cool. Yeah,
Miss Connie, man, I love y'all. I'm telling you.
Yeah, man. She
I'm
always
not
said
saying
everybody her
mama,
son. Yeah. She always said that, you know, all y'all her sons and everything.
That's
too.
right.
So. But because like, especially if you going to the church and stuff more, Tiff won't get away with that because she'll tell Queen in the choir.
She gonna tell it. She gonna tell it. They gonna all tell it right now. I saw him on that Facebook. And this is what it says.
Yeah, but that's the other thing that we don't have anymore. We don't have strong churches anymore.
They don't.
I'll put it out there. I don't think we have strong churches anymore. And one, because that's one of our secondary homes that where we was raised in, that we can go into a church and they taught you how to manner yourself. In the black communities, our churches was our institutions.
Right.
But now you can go. I've seen fights in the middle of the church. I've seen pastors doing wrong in churches, all the money and all this stuff going on.
Yeah.
So they took that.
It's become more of a business and game.
It's become more of a business and all this. The things that actually made the black community strong have slowly been stripped away or desensitized it to or devalued it, not desensitized, but just devalued what it was.
I'm gonna put some of it on us too. And this is how I'm gonna do it. Curtis,
Yeah.
I've never hung out with your children, but I'm your brother.
Yeah. True.
Kevin, I've never really hung out with your kids, and I'm your brother.
True.
The same for all of us.
Yeah.
We brothers, but we ain't carrying that brothership into the rest of our family and that connection that we talk about.
And that is so true, because I was just saying how important it was for my son to know his side of the family, my side of the family.
Yeah.
Because we get so isolated in our little section, like we just gonna raise you right here, and that's not fair.
Yeah.
Because he have great aunts out here, great uncles out here, cousins. Life goes on, man. You would like for him to meet these people, because you don't want them to grow up and next thing you know, hey dad, I like her. Oh, she from Rich Square.
Yeah.
You can't like her, son.
I'm gonna put it on our wives and girlfriends also. I'm not just gonna let us take the blame for it.
Yeah.
Because if they make it easier for us to get together without all the fuss and all the other stuff, we would get together. We would get together more often.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? If they were to say, "Hey, what you boys doing this month?
Yeah.
Enjoy yourselves. Let us finance it for you." Because they can. All of them can.
They got money.
Let us finance it for y'all because y'all need that brotherhood. Y'all need that relationship. But instead, they will say, hey, why y'all going to do that?
Well,
you know, that's crazy.
You have that, but you have, we're in this room here. They want to be in that room right there.
Right, and they ain't got to do that.
Right, so, because in their mind, every time we leave the house,
We're
it's
doing
a party.
too much.
We're doing too much.
We're doing too much.
Right, it's a party. We out doing too much. Right now, and what if they, I bet you they at the strip club throwing money. Da 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 da.
Brother, if we wasn't on,
I was. It ain't that work.
If we want that, I bet they at the strip club right at the store.
hey, if we wasn't on the podcast where everybody can see what we're doing, all of them would be like, oh, they all together.
Yeah.
They out there doing something they ain't got no business. And a lot of times, this is what we doing right here.
Right.
And then when they see it, like, oh, yeah. But what you do after?
Right.
Because what we're talking about right now, we be doing that at Buffalo Wild Wings, but we're eating, joking, having a good time, talking about Rich Square and how we
grew up.
This is what we do. But in their mind, we got to be at the strip club. I don't know what image it is, but it's supposed to be big booty women all around us. Right. Everybody wants us. Let me tell you, when I go out to a club, you know, and there's no knock on anybody. I swear there's no knock. I don't get the type of woman you think I'm getting coming up to me asking me for my number.
Oh, they think we're getting the form of them.
Yeah.
They think we're getting the younger them coming up to us, you know, and saying like, whatever, yada yada yada.
No, I'm good. I got somebody. Thank you.
Right.
Yeah, have a good night. Like I'm not getting what you think I'm getting.
Nah, not at
when
all.
I ain't around you. So.
But I'm putting it out there, man. We as men, especially black men,
don't take me there.
We need to do more.
Yeah.
We need to, you know, come together. Now, I'm all the way around. Y'all know me. We can party together. We should be able to go to church together.
I ain't going.
If we can go to church together,
I ain't going.
We should be able to take a trip together.
I'll go on a trip.
If we're going to take a trip together, locally, we should be able to go overseas together. We don't do
overseas.
If I'm not going to church with you.
So man.
I'm not going to church
I got a
with you.
passport.
You can't blame every church for one church mistake, man.
What about 4-5 churches mistakes?
I'm with him.
I ain't going with you.
But guess what? All right, let's keep it funky. You done tried 4 or 5 women, nigga, till you found the right one. There you go. Yeah, you have. Now you know I know y'all.
So if we put it in that context, you got to try different churches until you find the right fit for you. But when I don't know how everybody is in their faith walk. I'm very real with my faith. That's the only thing that I ever felt like has kept me stable is my belief in who God is.
Right.
So when I see a man take that and twist that, I want to hurt that man. I'm just dead ass serious. I want to hurt that person because it's the only anchor that I have left that keeps me grounded.
Right. Yeah.
So if you're going into the church, and this is for anybody, so if you got a crackhead or a prostitute, a hustler, and he finds God and he changes and he goes into this church and he thinks this is the church for him, and then that man of God twists that, turns that, what happens to that soul?
True.
Because now that soul has to say, well, that he's still a man, and I gotta, but God is, but that first thread has been pulled now.
But you gotta have that forgiving though.
There you go.
Right, you gotta have.
But that's on him.
Right.
You gotta understand, he's gonna be held accountable for what he does.
So
as your pastor, if you're a pastor, you know, you got to understand what that means.
Right.
You know, you're the shepherd of these souls right here.
Correct.
So you got to give an account.
Right.
So you're going to be charged for that now. Let's put the ownership back on us. You think I'm going to sit here and allow you to mentally abuse me, manipulate me? So how am I taking ownership of what I'm hearing?
So in that sense, you're saying you should know right from wrong, and if you're looking at this person, then you shouldn't follow that person because you know that's not right. So if you allow that person to do that, that's on you. But that's not the case. And the reason why I say that's not the case because you're a child.
Okay.
I'm a real estate agent. I went to school. I got a license to be a real estate agent. That means I know a little bit more than you do about real estate. I'm held to a higher standard. That pastor went to either he may have went to school or he delved in the book a little bit more, but he's got the title of pastor. He's held to a higher standard than the baby.
Exactly.
Who comes in as a baby because that baby is learning from you. So if you miscue that baby's look on you, that's your fault, not the baby's fault, because he's came to learn from you.
But you're not going to be a baby forever.
Not. So let's say if we take it to when you turn 18. So at a certain point, you mature as a Christian in Christ. And you start reading for yourself, and you start looking for yourself, and then you start saying, well, Pastor, you said da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da, and the book says this, and then I did a little bit of certain research, and I pulled from this, and this. How are you going to question who I am? How are you going to question where it came from? God told me this.
That's your exit route.
Right, so that's when he said, I saw that, and
that's what he said. Everybody, I believe, and we don't want to go on a whole segment, but
I'm cool. Let's rock it.
Study the show thyself approved.
Right.
So when you teaching and preaching to me, I'm going to my scripture like, wait a minute, line up on line up, precept on precept. This don't add up to me. So that's why I say, and you're right. Some people just go and I give my whole heart and I'm following this man. You gotta follow God.
So let's. I mean, I agree with TJ.
Right.
I somewhat agree with you, somewhat disagree with you.
Okay.
Because anytime a person goes to the church, whether they're grown up or not, they're following somebody that's already in control of their mind, so to speak. They're also a baby in that faith. So they're following with a juvenile mind or juvenile intentions if they don't have any other precept from any other pastor, any other whatever.
They say,
so I'm here,
shepherd and y'all
right? I'm here to believe in your relationship with God, and that's my listening to God through you, and I'm going to follow your teachings. If I don't know any better,
right,
I'm going to follow your teachings. Now, if I dispute your teachings and I read the same line that you read, I am a troublemaker or deemed that you're just trying to be the Antichrist, for lack of a better way to say it. For me, there's some hard things to believe, right? They say Adam and Eve was the first man and woman, right?
Okay.
They were put here to replenish the world. However, incest is wrong. If two people were put here to replenish the world, somebody's child slept with somebody's sibling, that somebody's child slept with each other, but incest is wrong. Now, I look at a fly and a frog, and he try to eat it every day. But they caught one animal eat sex and put him on the boat for 40 days and 40 nights, and nothing happened. Some things are hard for me to believe. Doesn't mean it didn't happen, but it's hard for me to believe. But because I have questions, do I mean that I'm trying to anti everything that you know? No,
not really.
Right. But that's what it's
like
looked
in relationship. It's like this, and this is a safe space to keep it real, right?
Right. Keep it real.
It's no different when you do with a chick.
It's different.
Hold on.
I'm listening.
Hold on.
I'm listening.
You go in and you want her to do what? Listen to you.
Now I want her to love me.
Hold on. In order for her to love you, she got to hear what you're saying.
Now she got to see what I'm saying.
Okay. Now.
That ain't listening.
Now we going fast forward. I'm trying to say, your works ain't matching what you saying. So if he's saying something and his works ain't matching up, that's my exit.
But see, it's still different. You brought the chick in.
Think about it.
And you say she's got to listen to. You want her to listen to you.
No, I started off by saying you want her to listen. You said you want her to see.
Now, first thing I said.
Nothing starts with seeing. It starts with hearing.
First thing I said was I want her to love me.
How she gonna love you? She don't even know you.
That's the first thing. That's the first thing. I want her to love me. She ain't gotta listen to what I say because I can say something crazy. But if she observes what I need and gives me that.
But how's she gonna observe what you need, Tim, if she ain't listening to you?
She ain't gotta listen up.
She has to. I don't want her to love me. I want her to respect me.
She can see love is love should be respect.
So see, some people use words as and some people use actions to show they love you. I'm an action person. I don't always wake up every day, oh, I love you, I do this, because I don't always say that's true. Because somebody can say I love you and then slap shit out of you in a minute, right? Right. So that doesn't mean you love me. Because why do you gotta slap me?
Right.
But if I get up, make sure you eating, make sure your car's warmed up, make sure this is happening for you, make sure you're okay, you break down on the side of the road, I'm there. Those actions say, I love you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So that's what I think Tim is saying is your actions have to match up.
We all saying the same thing, but what I'm saying to Tim is, in the beginning, that pastor can say whatever he wants to say, but if your actions is not reflecting what you're saying, why would you sit under someone that's going to continually manipulate you and say all these things but is not producing nothing?
What you have to understand is everybody is not as strong as we are mentally. So just like falling for a woman beater and you can't leave him, it's the same thing as falling for a pastor that you've given your total belief and faith in, and you cannot leave him. You will ride that ship until he reveals himself to you and say, don't ride this ship no more. I'm trying to kill you.
They can't help you.
That's true.
Right.
I'm sorry, Tyrone. That's right. But I believe, Kevin believes, if you have a relationship with Christ, that's just my personal belief. I'm not saying I never been manipulated. I never said that I wasn't, persuaded at any point in my life. But when reality sets in and you develop a relationship with Christ, once again, this is my opinion, you will see the difference.
I'd rather have a preacher that was a drunk and I know he was a drunk.
But at least he's revealing who he really is.
Right, I'd rather have that.
We had one of them.
We did.
But
I would rather have a preacher that was a drunk and I know he's a drunk. So when he's delivering his word, his whatever he's delivering, I know how to believe him. But that preacher that ain't never done nothing wrong, gonna tell me, hey man, stop drinking. I don't want no drinkers in my church. You know what I'm saying? And you done been a drinker yourself.
But you ain't.
From what I understand, I ain't no churchly person. As everybody just heard me say, I ain't going.
Right.
But first of all, you don't have to go to church to have church.
Yeah.
See, yeah.
Second of all, you can get your church from wherever you want to get your church from.
Church just a building.
And the man that's delivering the word is a man just like I am.
So that's why
we put them on a higher pedestal,
to manipulate
but not everybody cannot put them on that pedestal.
Yeah.
Now, so
and that happens.
That takes us to the first question of why our younger generation isn't raised like we are, because our institution aren't the way that we see our institutions at this time.
Right.
So that's where we're looking at our churches, and I guess our churches would say, well, the people have changed, the modern times have changed. We can't go talk to somebody's kid and try to help mentor them or something, because somebody's going to run up and say, well, why are you talking to my kid like that? Well, this, that, and third. But I truly feel that that's where we lost. And I think that's where, and I hate to talk about the man or this higher entity of people breaking us up from doing what we was doing, but it's kind of that sense of, if this is the only type of stereotype I'm putting out about these groups of people, then this is the only way that these people are going to be. So I was talking with an African dude just last week. I did some work in his restaurant, and he was educated and raised in France. And African, France, and I'm like,
Right.
okay, that's interesting. And he's like, how did that go out for you? He's like, France treated him as the African man like the black people here in America are treated. But he said when he got here, he didn't understand how black people, why we feel like we're not free because of where he came from. So he said, when you coming from Africa you got to go through jungles and the lowest of lows to even get to a place to be able to come to America. And once that type of foreign, you come from that situation, you make it to America, you see all the freedom that we have, you're like, yo, this is the best place ever to live.
Right.
And he said he wants every black person to travel abroad to see other countries, just to realize what you truly have as a freedom here. So we went into that discussion. I said, I get what you're saying. Yes, a lot of black people take for granted the true freedoms that we have, but we are still suppressed as a people here.
Yeah.
When I leave my house every day, there's a good possibility I may not come back because a pissed off cop might decide he needs to shoot me.
Right.
Because I reached for my wallet in my car, or I was walking in the wrong area, or when I want to go to a bank and I want to get a loan for my small business, we not gonna loan you money, but yet another man can come in of a different color or a different race,
And they give it to
you
them.
give it to him right off the bat.
Right off the
So yes, we have certain freedoms, and he made a great point. I was like, yo, I can see where that comes from. Like, so he even say with a Mexican who comes from, he's sleeping on the floor in Mexico,
Right.
to having, just say this hotel room is his new living space. He's got a bed, he's got a couch now, he's got running water, it's hot water, it's not cold. This is great to him.
Right.
But we've surpassed this point in our lives.
Yeah, we've already, as a people,
Right.
we did what they're doing. Somebody did that for us.
Right.
So what you see from us is where they, this is where y'all gotta come to.
Right.
But since we were talking about God, I'm gonna go back there, then I'm gonna leave all that God stuff alone. If God is God and like God is God, and where was God during slavery times and all of us was being killed and fed to alligators and all that stuff.
Okay, so if we go there.
But I'm gonna just leave that there. I just throw that out there.
But if you go there, in the Bible, it stated that our people were supposed to go through that.
And you believe that Bible?
What that Bible is off of our faith is what we are known to.
Who wrote the
believe.
Bible?
Okay, we have different versions. So you got the King
Ain't
James version.
one black person wrote down one of them pages in that Bible.
You are correct, but the King James version was translated by a king
Named James.
named James. And even I say the same thing of he had to figure out a way to control his people. Because in the story of that, he got a whole bunch of scholars together. He put them in there. He said, this is how I want this to go. The people did not know how to read the text. So they went out and taught the people what the text was. So you have the original, which was written in Hebrew. Now, none of us know how to speak. And if you want to go read, educate and learn the Hebrew text in the Old Testament, it'll help you get a better understanding. But even in that one, I spoke with a guy who went to ministry school. And we was at a bar. This is funny how you can get in conversation at a bar. And all the weird places God can come find you and have a conversation with you. We were at a bar. And this guy, he said, I went to ministry school. He said, when I went to ministry school and I started actually studying the Bible and studying texts and doing all this, I lost my faith. He said, because the lies that I was told going into this, which made me want to be a preacher, I found where the original text to certain stuff was, and it wasn't what they was teaching me in church.
Right.
And he lost his faith in becoming a pastor.
Yeah, it's deep, man.
So when we go looking at religion, it goes back to, like I said, how I told you I am with my religion. I am very, very, very real about my faith and nobody playing with it. So, but if there's a higher power of people like government or this, that, and the third who wants to control a mass number of people, how are you going to do it? Through their faith and their beliefs.
Their belief, right.
So I'm going to start manipulating those words or doing this to make it be what I need it to be to move the people in the direction I want them to move.
And that's why they took prayer out of schools and all that stuff like that.
So
Everything's controlled movement. You're exactly right.
The real reason I don't go to church no more is because there's one person in this world I know 100% how to protect. That's me. And that is the real reason I don't go to church anymore. However, we ain't gonna talk about this church thing, because we supposed to be having a good time. But I think it's very ironic.
That's a good point, man.
I think it's very ironic how we are talking about church and the Bible and God and the faith, and this fella sitting next to you with a shirt that says "Strip Club Veteran."
Well, you got me in the strip club.
No, I didn't talk about that.
Let's talk about that.
How I get you to the strip
Sugar
club?
Bells,
First club I ever
Greensboro.
went to was where?
Sugar Bells, Greensboro.
No, it wasn't. First club we went to was the 50-50 Club.
No,
No.
And we were riding with you.
That was the first club.
The 50-50 Club, Rocky
First
Mountain.
strip club, no,
No,
sir.
not-
Rocky
not
Mountain.
for-
It's in Greensboro with you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
No.
yeah, Sugar Bells.
We
Yeah.
ran
Cause I never.
Wait a
Fifty
minute.
when we came home.
Wait a minute.
So that's your
The
fault.
first time we saw strippers was the night before.
No. Sugar Bells was before that.
Yeah.
Those strippers.
Negro.
Those strippers worked at Brothers
Yes. And
in Durham when it was open.
Yes.
The
And
night-
Sugar Bells
And
was
y'all went and got-
I'm still saying the night before. You wasn't there?
No.
No.
I didn't really hang with y'all till y'all got a little older.
So what you're saying is
you was there.
you never went with us.
At my
No.
bachelor party, you was there.
Yeah.
You got Sugar Bells one time too.
Wait a minute.
Sugar Bells.
So you're saying
This back in the day, Tyrone. Back in the day, man. We're back in the day.
and this is years ago.
Yeah.
But what you're saying is you ain't never went with us to that one strip club.
I don't think so.
And we've been together a lot of years.
You sure you want to? You sure you want
We're
to
gonna
stand on
leave.
that?
We're gonna leave that
We're
one.
gonna leave it alone. We'll talk about this off camera.
Yeah, we can talk about that later.
It has been a long time since you've been the one with us.
I don't forget then.
Okay, we'll put it there. We'll put it
Yeah,
there.
because you remember when the Sugar Bells,
Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it.
when the Sugar
Okay.
Bells,
Don't do it. Don't do it.
they were Twiggy's Lounge.
Oh, Twiggy's Lounge. Man, Twiggy's used to be $5 to get in.
That's why we went there.
$5 lap dance.
They all knew them. All the bouncers knew
Yeah.
you were at the gym working out.
Yeah.
I mean, technically, the first set of strippers that we all have been around was actually in Rich Square. One of
Yeah.
our parties that
Yes.
we put together. You do remember that, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So y'all been throwing these off the book parties for a long time.
For a very long time.
Very long time. I was not at those parties. I was playing ball. I was running and jumping.
Greensboro doing the same thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was running and jumping.
But we know nothing about Sugar Bells.
Because we was throwing these parties when we was in high school.
Yeah, I was
You were
running
there.
and jumping. I had ball games that Friday night. And y'all went through the parties.
Yeah, okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Okay, Tom.
Okay, Tim.
Next.
We gonna move on away from that.
We gonna move.
We can move on away from that, man. All right, so here we got this right. We all know Freak Nancy's strip club veteran, right? We gonna play this game called Marry. We gonna say have sex and kill.
Oh Lord, here we go. This is gonna be a PG version of this game that
Yeah,
you put
yeah,
out.
yeah. PG version. Marry, have sex, kill. This is to the strip club veteran. You got Pinky.
Kill.
You got Grace Jones.
Definitely kill.
And you got Eartha Kitt.
Hell
I
no.
don't know.
So you gotta pick something.
No.
You gotta pick. You gotta sign, marry, have sex, or kill.
Which version of Eartha Kitt though? Because you know Eartha Kitt back.
It was bad back in the day.
Bad back in the day.
Now, that be
So I'm
Go back to Rocket.
Yeah, let's go back to
I'm
that.
talking about Boomerang.
Boomerang, Eartha Kitt.
Or you talking about Eartha Kitt from the movie? Was it Bakersfield? Was she in Bakersfield?
I ain't see that. But Boomerang, Eartha Kitt, Grace Jones, and all her modeling days. Cause I got a homie that told me Grace Jones was beautiful to him.
She had.
And who I say, Pinky?
You said Pinky.
Yeah,
right?
Pinky.
No. Can't
Pinky, ooh, the strip.
You can't answer.
Porn star.
You can't answer. Come on,
Definitely
Kurt.
ain't married
Come on,
her.
Kurt. You gotta do something.
Boy,
What
no,
you
ain't
gonna
married
do?
her.
Who you gonna marry?
It had to be her because Grace
You
Jones
gonna marry
like a
Eartha Kitt?
dude.
You can marry Eartha Kitt.
Oh, you know.
You trying to take advantage of that old lady?
I didn't want to marry her because she got that pie.
She do got that cake,
She
man.
had that.
She might have had it, but it ain't about all that. It's about being happy. And then
But I was
she got all the
watching,
money
man.
she want. But if she worried you to death and stuff like that.
I don't get you no trouble, Kurt. I know you can't really answer them questions like that.
No, give me somebody else. Like Cardi B or somebody.
All right. I'm gonna give you something easy then. I'm gonna give you something easy. You got Tracy Ellis Ross.
Oh God.
You got Cardi B, since you like her, and you got y'all give me a white girl. You know.
Kim K.
Roseanne.
Kim Kardashian.
Kim Kardashian.
No, that fella said Roseanne.
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 Nah, I won't know Roseanne.
Roseanne.
What you gonna do, Kurt?
Let's give him again. Give him again.
You got Tracy Ellis Ross, Cardi B, and who we say? Kim Kardashian.
Okay, I married Tracy.
Why you married Tracy?
Just the way. That's like her whole look. You know, like it's she kind of sex with it, but she's not too over sexy with it. Like she know how to, you know.
These podcasts live on YouTube. Okay, keep going. Keep going.
And who else?
Cardi B
And Cardi B. That was it.
and Kim Kardashian.
Sex. And Kim Kardashian. Yeah. Seen.
You gonna kill Kim Kardashian?
Right, be about your head while
Man,
she can fight.
yeah, that's
Oh yeah, I
rough.
believe it.
That's rough there, man.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So speaking, since we done took it to the ladies, man.
Well, you know, now let me go back. I know pretty much.
You
And
can't-
Tracy Ellis is the only real one, I believe, with their own the real body. She ain't cubic zirconium like the other two.
Right.
So that's another thing. Now, like
She's all natural. She's
Yeah.
all natural.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's one reason why I said that. You
You're
know,
not
but
Not bad. Not bad.
So most of us in here are married, right? All of us, pretty, you know what I'm saying? But this question here, have y'all ever been hurt, like pre-marriage, have y'all ever been hurt by a woman so bad, like you've been in love with her, and she hurt you so bad, you just didn't know what to do? Because people out there that's getting hurt, they vulnerable. They think they the only one.
We all have. I think we all have been hurt.
Well, tell me about your time and what you do and how you handle that.
Well, I mean, was in a relationship and she left.
And
I didn't like it. I mean, I was hurt. And I was like, daggone, you know, like she just bounced on me. You know what I'm
that's
saying?
what you said, daggone.
No, I didn't.
I want to get to that part.
Well, you know, now to be honest, I went to the blaming game.
Okay.
How the F you just gonna up and leave and boom, 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 you know? And but I started thinking, I was like, well, Kevin, you know, hey, maybe it just wasn't meant for you. You know, so I had to, because I was down on myself, looking around. She was gone, everything in the house gone, you know what I'm saying?
Moving around the house.
I had nothing but the TV in the corner, TV leaning, you know what I'm saying? But I said, TV was leaning, and one of them, remember back in the day, had a little cable box. Had a little cable, everybody was leaning like this. I said, oh man, it broke me down to my brake pad. So I was like, okay.
Did you cry? I want to know that.
No, I was upset.
You ain't never cried?
I ain't saying never cried, but I ain't cried that time.
Okay.
he cried out
I
of
was
anger.
upset.
That's what it was. He cried
I
out
was
of anger.
upset
Yeah.
because, you know, like I said, you can go into the blaming game, and I'm very, very much past that right now. But I had to start thinking, like, okay, dog, what did you contribute to this? What did you do? Because it's three sides: your side, her side, and the truth.
Did you really feel like you contributed to it?
I didn't, but then looking back, I said, okay, maybe I could have.
There's some things you could have done different.
I feel like that's the wrong way to look at it, though.
Oh, you do? Okay, how you look?
Let's talk about
Let's
it.
talk.
Let's talk about it.
It's always okay. Yeah. So like you said, it's to it. What did I do? Was I? If you think that you're trying to be the perfect man for a person,
Right.
and you think you do everything that you thought you was raised to do for a woman to be that person, and that person leaves, then that's automatically what you're gonna say. Damn, I wasn't good enough. Why you always gotta think you're not good enough when somebody decides they want to leave?
Right. Good point.
I'm not good enough.
Maybe they just wanted to leave.
They just want to leave. This was situation wasn't for them, but in your head you're saying, I'm not good enough.
Yeah.
I poured everything into you, but I'm not good enough
Right.
for you. And then you go through that grief. But then I cooked for them. I bought them clothes.
And
I
nothing
took
else you
care,
could have done.
I did that. I do it. You know, I I was Marvin Gaye to this person, you know, or I went and did this and that, and, you know, I was a good man, and now I got to go back and reevaluate my whole me.
But when you was Marvin Gaye, you should have been Marvin Cease.
He should have been stroking.
Could have been stronger,
Right.
But then that's what you go in your mind. Damn, was my sex not good enough? Because every man gonna think that. Well, she left me for another man. Was my sex not good enough?
Did you get depressed at that time? Because if your sex wasn't good enough, you probably feel like, oh man, what I'm gonna do with the next one?
That's what I'm saying.
What I'm gonna do with the next one? My God,
sex not good enough. Was stroke not long enough?
Yeah.
But the tongue game not good.
Man.
Like you start thinking that.
No.
man, I gotta get some practice for the next woman.
Yeah, you gonna think I gotta get ready.
What am I gonna do?
In your head. Unless you're that dude that says, "Oh, it won't me. She just wasn't good enough for me. I was good enough for her, but she wasn't good enough for me."
But she left.
But she left.
I'm gonna tell you something I had to realize, and I said this to myself. Give me the woman that don't tolerate me, appreciate me.
Yeah.
Cause when that woman just tolerates you, bro, you on borrowed time.
Borrowed time.
You on thin ice.
Depending on how many
You know what I'm
20s you got,
saying?
you might be
and
on
then
paid for
she
time.
looking for a reason to get rid of you.
Yeah.
Nah.
She'll take this remote, hide it,
And wait for the
and
argument.
then say, "Where's the remote?"
Well, that's
I don't want to be with nobody who keep losing stuff. Like,
Yeah.
you ain't the remote. So you're looking for me. You're looking for an argument. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? So tolerate me. Don't you tolerate me? You're not appreciating me.
Well,
And when you start loving yourself, man, and know what, like you're saying, TJ, what am I bringing to the table? Like I hear women saying, "I am the table." Impossible.
Yeah.
I was like, yo, I'm a good dude.
And you the
I know
table.
what
You the
getting
table. You the one with the
ready
crumbs on top.
And that's deep. That's deep how you said it. You know, I just made a little TikTok with that little saying, "I am the table." But if you are the table, then you already left.
Yeah.
You already together. You already. I
what I'm
don't want
saying?
everybody that's all the way together.
Both of y'all
Let's
need to be the
build.
table. You know what I'm saying? Y'all become the table. Because if you the table, she finna dance her way on out that thing.
Yeah. Cause
You might not even know she dancing.
Yeah.
I got
The whole
clients
thing,
that are millionaires, man. Millionaires. And still can't satisfy that woman.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I'm talking about big house, cars. She could drive whatever she want to drive.
What TJ said.
Go where she want to go. He is flat up a millionaire.
What
Yeah.
TJ say?
He said,
his
man,
stroke
I still
ain't right.
can't
He got to work on the tongue game. He got to work on all. Somebody right there.
Right to where you say,
Or maybe she
And
just
she could just-
ain't
she could just-
tolerating him.
She could just be there because he is a millionaire.
Right, she could be there
and don't want to
because
lose the things that she
he's
has
the
access to.
provider.
Yeah.
True.
but here's the dude that's gonna knock the box out. So he provides everything I want, but the dude that can knock the box out can't do nothing for me, but knock the box out. That's all he
Right.
can.
And that's all she want.
Yeah, but that's all maybe she
That's all she want from him.
Or the guy who's providing for everything works all the time. Or he's never home, or he's never in this. Like, that's the other side of the coin.
So can love conquer that?
Okay.
Can you be man enough for your woman to say, I need a little bit more, but she makes you the happiest thing in the world and allow her to go get a little bit more and come home?
Look at more what?
That's one making you
So
happy
you're
in the
saying,
world.
can you
what?
have an
Ain't no such
open
thing.
marriage? Is that what you was asking? Can you have an open marriage?
Because that's what he's saying.
That's what basically what you're saying.
Because think about these women sometimes, and we've had some uncles that had girlfriends and came on back home, and the aunties knew they had girlfriends.
Well, we're
Can a man be man enough?
So we're saying
to allow that to happen?
There's a different woman out there now than it was then, because at that time it's acceptable. That was acceptable in our society for a man to go out and possibly have a second woman on the side or a whole second family or whatever.
Damn.
Today side,
Whole family.
I can afford it, dog.
My granddad, he
You know,
had a whole family.
yeah. So
Forgot.
it's not the same now.
That's right. So you're talking about now.
Now.
I know back in the day that happened.
Right.
But so
now?
now you got.
But even back then, were the men back then man enough to say, she got old man over there?
Yeah.
I know it. Come on back home when she ready.
Well,
Because that's
You got
what,
fear of them to do that.
Yeah.
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 But you got.
You think
gotta
you can get away with it?
You gotta be a tough. You gotta be
No.
tough. You gotta be misunderstood.
You gonna get stabbed, boy.
Because-
You gonna
I don't understand how they can get away with it.
you gonna get stabbed.
Now, live-
All of us gonna get
but now
stabbed,
live
really.
by the sword, die by the sword.
Right.
So if you saying if I go out and do it, and she got to sit home and take to the fact that I might be over here at my girlfriend's house and she know it.
Right.
And she decides to say, well, I'm going to go get me a boyfriend. You got to be able to take what you're dishing out, right?
You gonna get divorced? You gonna divorce her now?
No, sir.
You gonna divorce her now?
How's that right?
Now, if your lady know you out there and she sat home and take it, now all of a sudden you ain't out there no more, and she decided to go out there, but y'all make each other happy.
Hey, but that's something you created.
But wait a minute. If you can go out there and wash the car, why can't she wash the car?
Exactly.
If you can put candy in your bag, why she can't go put candy in her bag?
Second it.
Second, what are you talking about? I'm talking about what I ain't gonna do. So okay, what you second?
So you say you one of those guys that you can't do it, right?
Hell no.
So if she get caught, your marriage is over with.
I ain't doing it.
I ain't saying you
No,
are.
you said you don't know. At this point, you don't know. You don't know.
If she get caught cheating, your marriage is over with, right?
No.
I'm gonna call her till it go cheat.
And if you get
Get out there, girl.
But if you
For how
get
many
caught cheating,
chances
you would
would you
expect
give
her
her,
to
though?
sit there and take it, right? If you, I ain't saying you are.
I would want to.
You want her to sit there with
Who actually want to get caught?
There are men out there who says, if I catch my woman doing it, it's over with, it's done, da 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 da.
That's because he hurt.
Right.
And men.
But how many times women have been
Men
hurt?
can't take what women take. Men put out what we put
That was
out,
done.
but if it was done to us, we could not take it.
Right.
I'm
Y'all
gonna
know
tell my
that.
wife, I'm gonna act like I'm mad in the motherfucker for about 2 weeks.
Using some good bait.
Yeah, girl, I'm gonna forgive you this time. But I
I'm
ain't got.
going to the DR. I'll be back.
Yeah, I need a hall pass for 2 weeks. But man, really, man, I ain't got time to be going out there trying to start this thing all over again, man.
I do not want to do that. Like,
I started a long time ago in my life with all my relationships that I had. That most of them, I'm not as lucky as y'all guys, but most of the women left me in my life. So I'm gonna say, you did all the dumping, Tim, and yours in my life.
Shit, no, boy.
Me.
No,
So I will
sir.
say that I learned early on in my life that you can't control anybody.
You cannot.
You can't control who they want to lay down with. You can't control where they want to be. You can't control who they love.
Right.
So if I keep that in my mind, I ain't surprised when they come up one day and say I ain't happy and I want to go.
Like I said, the only person you can protect is yourself.
Is yourself.
The only person I know how to protect.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be mad.
I
I'm
don't
gonna
go
tell you.
looking for it,
Let me tell Felicia. Tell me, hey y'all, babe, I'm sorry, but I was sleeping with a man. I'm gonna say, man, what the fuck? What he got that I ain't got? Can you do more push up?
What's
Like I'm a
that?
man. Like what? What the car look like? I'm gonna go through all that. What the bank account look like?
9 times out of 10, what he doing, you ain't doing, is just talking.
But see, and the thing is, as men, is our ego more hurt? Or is our heart more hurt that we lost a competition in life to somebody else for what you feel like is your prized possession?
ego.
I think it's a hard.
You know?
If you truly got
think
the
it's
heart,
hard.
it might be your heart. But if your heart ain't in it, it's your ego.
But if
I
you
think-
really, truly, truly love that woman and you make her your everything, it's definitely your heart.
Yeah.
Definitely be hard.
But if you go in like most men, no, this can't happen to me. It ain't gonna happen to me. My woman ain't gonna do this. Bruh, come on, man.
yeah.
Cause if it happened, so you gotta understand, just like some brothers be entertaining other women and talking and giving them compliments. Negro, somebody complimenting our wives right now.
I don't have no problem with that.
I mean, neither, but at the same time, if she fall victim to that,
If she fall victim to that, then you not complimenting her enough.
That is correct.
I don't know.
But then
What if he's just saying a little something a little smoother than you?
You better get the smooth book out and start working on it.
And who
Maybe your
said-
game ain't tight.
Maybe your game
That's
ain't
strong.
tight.
Your game ain't that strong.
You know what I'm
who
saying?
said she's a victim?
Right?
Maybe she wanted that.
Right?
Right,
True.
you're not saying she's a victim. Like, because that mentality states that dude, because that's how you have to justify it in your head. Oh, she just would cheat on me. That dude just came on to her so good or promised her so much, da 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 da. He just wooed her mind.
Nah, he ain't do that.
Yeah.
He can't make her go.
Yeah, he can't make her.
He can't make her go.
He can't make her.
How can you tell though? How can you tell?
He can't make her go.
How
dog.
can you, but no, how can you tell when she's being wooed or been wooed?
You can't tell. Shit,
You can't tell.
Oh, I went to work today and man, the 5 guys told me I was pretty. And she's waiting for you to say, yeah, baby, you are pretty. Because if you don't say you're pretty in the moment, how could 5 other guys can say I'm pretty, but you don't ever tell me I'm pretty?
But I'm talking about,
But no, you
gotta
tell
watch
when-
her actions.
When the routine changes.
Thank you.
Yeah.
When that routine change, when she start not giving a you know what about nothing you say,
you probably lost
nothing
Bill
you
before that,
do,
though.
you be
You lost
like,
the way before
Yeah, you
that.
weren't
Thank
paying
you.
attention.
Yeah, you weren't paying
You weren't
attention.
paying attention.
You gotta pay attention.
It's done.
You lost the way before that.
oh, I gotta go such and such and such.
When did you start making
Where you
money?
going over there?
You know what I'm saying?
She done,
I'm gonna
dog.
ride with you.
You got the streets got to let
I'm
it.
gonna ride with you. Let my wife call me and say, the girls wanna go out tonight, but I don't wanna spend no money. How much you need?
Please go.
You got it. Go ahead.
Roll out.
Let her call me and say, I was looking at some sundresses today. Which one? You want it? Mm-hmm. Go ahead and get it.
Right.
I'm finna do it, dog. She can get. My wife don't try to get over, but I hope she don't see this. But if she really wanted to get over,
You know she watched.
she could get over. Because she said, I want a motorcycle for Valentine's Day one time. Just talking. You know what she had for Valentine's Day? A
That's
motorcycle.
because you wanted the motorcycle, Tim.
I did, had to.
That's why she got it.
But she
You know
don't.
she won't go
Right, but she don't really.
Yeah, Lisa, we know you ain't gonna ride.
But she don't really stress me about, stuff like this or going. I can say, honey, I'm going to strip club with the boys tonight. She'll say, okay, you better not spend all your money. And I'm
Tim, back when we said it early. He got us to the strip club thing, man.
Oh, Kurt, you the one.
No, it was so bad
You
one
the
time.
first one with the cameras. The first one with the
they were biting me.
camera.
They were biting me.
Exactly.
I ain't sneaking in though, but then, I used to have to beg Lisa, please tell Tim to come in at a certain time so I won't spend no money.
He did. I remember one night we left. I said, let me go to the strip club. I said, Kurt, hey, tell him to make sure we come on back. What time you want him home? I said, you better get in here, man. Let's go.
Because I knew when that third shift come in, them red bones come up there.
Oh man,
God.
you ready to ATM?
I got a homeboy. His wife threw him a birthday party and got him a stripper for his birthday. Him and the boys.
For real?
Yeah. got him a stripper for his birthday in their house where she looked and all the other wives looked. And they just,
Yeah,
they look from, they look from afar.
That ain't gonna happen.
They look from afar. But how it was set up was, the wives were over there. The guys were sitting around like we sitting around now. And the little stripper girl came out and did her thing. And the wives was like, they looking from over there like, I think they were looking to see how excited or what reaction we were going to give.
You know they was.
Yeah, but I was chilling. I told her, my out, give me the microphone.
But Tim, we don't
I ain't
see
been
you
participate.
Yeah.
Give me the microphone.
But like me, man. Now with strip clubs, man, it don't really excite me, man. I guess
Yeah.
we got started so early.
Yeah.
And then, man, I'm the type of dude now, man. I work hard for my money, man. I'm like, I don't just want to give it away. I might want to pop me a DVD in or something, throw my money at the TV. When it's over, I can get that back.
My profession has spoiled strip clubs for me. Like now, if I go to a strip club, I ain't looking at her assets. I'm looking at what she needs to do to perfect her assets and change them to. I'm telling it's crazy,
Damn.
dog. That's why I don't go no more.
Yeah.
I'll be like,
Tough,
no, she
man.
need to do some squats, do some inner thigh work, and he's,
Oh, with your profession,
stuff
right,
like
right.
that. I'll be like, man, she gotta do this, she need to do
He
that.
over there thinking,
Yeah, he think about trying to put her on a nutrition plan.
Yeah. Right, man. Right.
Yeah,
I hate BBLs too. I don't like fake
What happened
thighs.
to the natural stuff?
But
Natural.
we came from it. We look.
It
none
came
of
from
the
natural
girls that
stuff.
we
The Kurt love all that stuff.
No, I don't.
didn't get to come to school with makeup on, so we saw
Natural
beauty.
women.
Yeah.
Natural women coming up because they couldn't wear.
Because back
makeup.
then they didn't care. They had a flat booty. They were good
Couldn't
with
do
it.
nothing about it. She had a flatty patty. She had a flatty patty.
Experience
Like a little, like a street, going straight down. No
And
curve.
it's her personality and how she was, how she carried herself. He's like, oh, she a
Yeah.
cool chick.
Yeah, that's what it was about back then, man. It wasn't about all that stuff. Then you got all this on the fans and all that stuff like that.
Yes,
On the
we had none
fans.
of that, man.
Yeah, we
No,
didn't
we
have none
had
of that
none
stuff,
of that.
man.
But fast forward.
Kurt would have been on OnlyFans. He didn't have an account.
Yeah, he would have.
I would probably been up there filming something.
Like even with now, like stuff we talking about and situations that occurred and the past and where we come from and political states, religious states. All of that to me is a bowl of gumbo, man, of life
Yeah.
that shapes you to who you are right now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And where, like, we talk about where we came from, what we've been through. Now it's like, where we trying to go?
True.
What are we trying to do? How can we, because for Kevin Jones, I want to leave an imprint in this society when I'm gone.
Yeah.
Like, here lived the dude that did bam, bam, bam. He changed this. He had a major effect on this, and he galvanized people together. You know, he believed in linking people up, connecting. Those are the things that I want to be said about me.
Yeah.
The good. How did I help somebody? You know. But and I think everybody in this room has that part that's going to play out in their life.
I'm cursed.
Whoa,
I'm
brother,
cursed.
I said all that. You said you're cursed.
I'm cursed. I'm cursed because I will never be successful enough for me. And
Wow.
and that for that reason, I know I'm cursed with that. I will never be successful enough for me. Even when I played sports, somebody would say that was a great catch in baseball. To me, I would say that was average. I expected to make that. Somebody would say that's a great run you had right there. To me, that's average. I expected to do that.
Yeah.
This podcast, I was in the Circle K on Wake Forest earlier. A young lady said, "I saw your podcast. I think you're doing a great job." To me, I ain't until I reach somebody's status like Shannon Sharpe. Will I ever reach that? Probably not. But in this little whole mind of mine, I will never be
That's where you put yourself at. You
successful enough. You know, as a football coach, I might have overcome so many obstacles. But until I win everything and I'm on the top and people screaming my name, I will never be successful enough. As long as there's somebody in a higher position than me at work, I will never feel like I'm successful enough. Until me and my wife can do anything in the world that we want to do, I will never feel like our marriage is successful enough.
You about to say something, Tyrone?
No.
So, did you ever look at the interview that Will Smith just recently did about happiness? Will Smith said, when you get to a point in your life where you can buy anything that you want, go anywhere that you want to go, and do all this stuff, and you're still not happy, he said, peace and happiness has to come from within. It's like I got the gist of what the interview was. And so it's just, and I've been in a circle with a couple of millionaires and spoke to one recently. He was saying the same thing of, I got all this money, I got this new accolade that just happened for me, but I have no people around me. So yeah, you did all this successful stuff, you got all this that you did, but at the end of the day, I'm still unhappy or miserable. Because he said the same thing. I don't see myself as you see me. So somebody else said, damn, Tim's doing this, he's doing that, and Kev's doing this, and he's doing that. In your mind, I ain't doing enough.
Right.
Like in my mind, I'm not doing enough.
Right.
Right now, on the books, I have 4 LLCs. I ain't doing enough.
Right.
I don't have enough. I'm not making enough or doing enough to live or to be where I want to be at. That motivation is what got us out of Rich Square.
Right.
Because we could have stayed there.
True.
But we wanted more.
And I still want more, dog.
But what is that more? Because, and I get it, but what is that more? When will we get our peace?
You know, that's a good question, man, because I've never been a guy, as you guys know, you've seen all the cars that I've driven and all that. I've never been into new cars. I've never been into the best. I've never been into that. I got a 2003 Dually, a 2012 Charger, and I think a 2013, whatever that black truck is, man. GMC Yukon. But I've never been into, I'm going to go buy me a Mercedes. I could care less about any of that stuff But that stuff makes other people really happy to be able to go out and buy the Mercedes, to buy this, to buy that. I can afford it, but I don't care nothing about it. So
that in its sense, that's where we go into reparations and black people. And so when you made when did you made it when back in the day? When you was an artist or you was a superstar, when did you make it?
when you can buy that car.
When you can buy that Cadillac.
Yeah, that
When you
Cadillac.
bought the Cadillac, you have arrived. You are no longer that sharecropper, that slave, or that person, or that from the poverty, because you had a Cadillac.
Yeah.
And everybody, our new Cadillacs now are Mercedes and BMW. Once you get that Mercedes and that BMW, you have arrived. You are there now.
Right.
But what if we took that $130,000 investment that we paid over 6 years or 7 years, and we had put that into buying land?
Right.
And cultivated that land, it could have turned into not now a depreciating asset, but an appreciating asset. That land could now, in this day and age, could be worth $1.5 million.
Right. Probably more.
Oh, probably more.
Probably more.
So it's the priorities that the society says that we should have. Like all the rapping and everything. Oh, what they say? Well, I buy Louis Vuitton, and I got Gucci, and I got this, and I got that. All our young kids saying, well, that's success. Not you sitting over here with your business, not you sitting over here with your business, because all they see us is doing is working.
Normal people.
Normal people.
They don't be like them normal
but we
people.
ain't in the club throwing $5,000 ones up in the air.
We don't be like them normal people. They said they don't even go to strip club.
They don't go to strip clubs.
We don't be like them
They don't
normal
do this,
people.
they don't do that, da 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 da. I want to be that guy. That guy who's sitting on a yacht. And he's got these type of women around. Cause we all, look, I thought I was going to want it to be James Bond one time, man. James Bond was the coolest dude, the show, I don't know if you're like 007.
Yeah.
My man could go in any situation, pull any woman he wanted. He had the cars, he had the suits, he had the lifestyle. That was a lifestyle that we all wanted to have. Or when we watched NWA or Dr. Dre and them, and they was having the pool parties. We all wanted to be at a Diddy party. We don't want to be at Diddy parties now.
Shit, ain't never been no Diddy party.
We all wanted to be at Diddy parties before.
Yeah.
Because the bad boy parties, we wanted to be. We all said we wanted to go to Playboy Mansion. Every last one of us said we wanted to go to Playboy Mansion.
Y'all had cable TV before I did. I knew nothing about these Diddy parties.
Man.
I didn't have no cable TV.
People, it's because he's on the cameras. Don't let him lie.
And I ain't telling you the truth, man.
But that was the we all strive to be that dude. Now, in striving to be that dude, what did we lose? We lost the connection of the people around us. Because we want to be that guy, nobody else can make me be that guy. I'm going to be that guy.
You got to do it.
So where I say, okay, you got a skill, Kurt. I'm gonna stand behind you and your skill and push your skill up, and then we're gonna invest in your skill and get you here. That person says, well, no, we can't let Kurt do it because I'm that guy.
Yeah.
I gotta do it. And when I do it, I'm gonna go back and give y'all the crumbs, but I'm gonna do it first. I can't see your skill. I can't see your vision. I can't see your deal. I gotta do it.
Right.
That's how our generation is. Or how
You know,
people
I'm not even gonna say our generation because I was talking to an older gentleman at work the other day, and he said it was Juneteenth, and he was like, man, you know, down here you got brothers, you know, they mean mugging, they this, they that, you know what I'm saying? Why they don't be receptive to you and yada yada yada, this, that, and the third. And I said, in order to be received, you have to recept. And he was like, what you mean? I said, brother, you just told me you and your lady got one car. You live 5 minutes away from you. I've offered you 5 rides to work because we work at the same place. And yet you always decline me. If I am in a position to help you receive a blessing, why can't you be the recipient of that blessing?
Pride.
Because I don't want you to come back and say you did anything for me.
And the pride.
Okay, I'm gonna take it a step farther. You know, this year was the first year we celebrated Juneteenth at our job. And what they did was they got a black food truck, and the company paid half for the food truck, and the employees had to pay the other half. So in my heart and soul, I felt like that was wrong. Was I happy that they were paying half? Yes. But I was also unhappy that the employees got to pay the other half. And I'm such a believer in the equality of Juneteenth with July 4th and the other holidays. And we don't get it off for a holiday either, which really tickles my fancy. But I'm so engulfed in that being an equal part that we all got to do our part in that. I called our HR and I said, how much is left over? I'm going to take it. Then she told me a number. I said, I'm going to take half of that. But when you believe in the cause for a people, not just for a people, for the world, because like July 4th, it ain't only for white people.
Yeah.
It may have started out as a thing for white people, but now black people get to enjoy that day off, whatever. You know, so if Juneteenth becomes a holiday at my job, the white people, the black people, the Latino, everybody's gonna enjoy that. So as a world, I feel like it was wrong because, you know, we have other things and they pay for everything, you know. But this thing that everybody ain't jumping on the bandwagon. And then the same, to say that, I'm going all out, but then I look at the people at work they say, hey, you can wear your shirts and celebrate, yada, yada. And I look at black people that ain't wearing nothing. Oh, it don't mean nothing. You know what I mean?
Well,
So
I think with Juneteenth, it was a holiday that wasn't known to us until recently.
right.
In North Carolina, well, I know in North Carolina, maybe in other parts of the world, but in here recently, because I had this conversation with a gentleman, and he was saying, all this cancel culture, everything cancel culture, they come up with this and they come up with that. What is this Juneteenth? Da 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 da. I don't even know what Juneteenth is, and what was this? And he asked me, and I'm like, sir, do you really want to know the answer to what Juneteenth is? He was like, yeah, I want to know. Now, mind you, everybody, you tell by the accent that who I'm talking to, right?
Right.
Yeah.
And I said, well, sir, and I took this as I could either call him ignorant, or I could say this is a teachable moment
Right.
and teach him something about
Right.
history.
Right.
So I took it as a teachable moment, and I said, hey, Juneteenth was when the slaves out in Texas, further away, got information that they were free because they got it later than in the rest of the world when
Right.
Lincoln. He said, well, golly, I didn't know nothing about that.
Right.
I
But
think
the
they
cops-
play them games with us.
No,
Some
but
of them probably do.
I would,
Some probably
so
do.
I would say so. It was a good possibility, but he was there and his son was there. And so his son didn't know what it was either. So I was like, okay, I could take this as an ignorant moment,
Right. or
or I could take it, be professional, be uplifting, and be educational, and that's you, and have a teachable moment.
Right.
And that's what I did. And he was like, oh man, I didn't know that. And the conversation changed after that because you
Right.
know, it was like, Dad, I just talked to a black man about not knowing what slavery was, and then he went on to say, well, man, your work in here was real great. Everything
Right,
that you did,
right.
da 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 da.
I mean, and
So,
I had those conversations too, but not only with, older white people, because that's where I work at, but I've also had it with young Latino women because they came into my circle and they were like, hey, I never heard of Juneteenth. Like, what is it? But immediately I told them, and then they were like, okay. But for example, Cinco de Mayo really means nothing to real Spanish liberty.
right, correct.
That's in September, October, I think. But I didn't know that until I was in the Latino circle, and they taught me that.
right.
So now when it's time for their celebration of liberation, am I gonna wear a shirt in support of them like they wore a shirt in support of me? You freaking right.